Julian Crockett, the Technology and Data Services Manager here at the United Soccer League. I've been here for about 5 years and have worked with FanThreeSixty for the entire time on our league app and then our multitude of club apps. I've seen the value that has been driven from the FanThreeSixty mobile app and fan data platform. Now, what I've had to do is get creative about how we tell that story to leadership who wants to see it make sense in dollars and cents. And how we did that was we used UTM codes. And so also our league, our network is big, and so we have a lot of turnover, and so we have to kind of explain what UTM codes are pretty often. So for those that don't know, a UTM code is basically a placeholder that's appended to the end of a URL or a hyperlink that'll tell you where your traffic is coming from. So UTM codes can be added to links on mobile apps, on emails, on social media, pretty agnostic to the channel. But you'll add it to the end of a hyperlink. And so at the end of the hyperlink, you'll begin your UTM with a question mark, and then you'll add your parameters, and then you'll separate those with an ampersand. And then specifically in the Fan360 platform, the link will be hidden if you use a in-app view as opposed to an external view. But even if it's not hidden, your users won't be able to tell the difference. They won't understand the code necessarily, so it's not really a huge difference either way. But now we'll get into kind of what are the different parameters that we care about. And so we care about UTM source, UTM medium, and UTM campaign. So source, right, tells you which site sent the traffic. The medium will tell you what type of link it came from. So it'll tell you app, email, QR code. And then the campaign will tell you the specific product or promotion that you're trying to draw traffic to. So for this example, right, we have our Shopify site with a test item, and then we've added UTM source, USL, we've added UTM medium, app, and then we've added UTM campaign equals Prink sweepstakes. So essentially what this is telling you is that the campaign that we're trying to draw traffic to is our Prinks Tire sweepstakes. Then the channel or the medium is our mobile app. And then the source is just telling you it's coming from the United Soccer League. So that's how you would read that, and that's kind of how it would show up in your analytics dashboards. And so when we talk about tracking UTM codes, they're not going to show up natively in your fan data platform, but they will show up in your Google Analytics platform. For our specific example, it'll show up in your Shopify analytics dashboard. And if you do this for ticketing links, it'll show up in your ticketing platform. So all of those are where they show up is a little bit different. But if you get with your reps, then they can help you figure out where to find those. And then tracking those would just be as simple as, figuring out where those codes show up and then adding that to your reporting, your monthly reporting poll, and then aggregating that. And then we'll then be able to tell exactly how much, money is driven from specifically your mobile app. And so that's basically how you make the sausage. And I will pass it back to Charlie to tell you about one of the wins with one of our clubs.
Thank you, Julian. So yeah, the idea here is that, campaigns is a great tool to be able to segment and send specific communications to specific audiences using specific marketing channels, and then getting an idea of who's engaging, who's clicking, and then you get those inferred conversion rates as well. And then UTM codes is a great way to take it a layer deeper to say, okay, this much revenue was generated from this specific marketing campaign. So they really work nicely together. And I do just want to say that if you're interested in learning more and you want to set up UTM codes within your app or your email, your different marketing channels, please reach out to your client success lead. So if you're a USL club, reach out to me or Julian, and we'd be happy to talk to you about setting them up and getting you up on them. But yeah, like Julian mentioned, I want to do one more client highlight. this time with UTM codes. So I'd like to highlight Union Omaha, who last year wanted to start tracking revenue attribution directly from their app, specifically with their Shopify merchandise sales. So we work closely with Union Omaha to set up UTM links on both their shop page within the app and then also on different mobile app push notifications. So anytime they had a new kit drop or any sort of new merchandise drop, they could send out a mobile push notification, use a UTM code, and figure out how many sales and what type of revenue was coming directly from those marketing initiatives. And within just the first year, Union Omaha realized a 90% return on investment for their fan data platform and their mobile app from just merchandise sales. So that doesn't even include ticketing sales that come from the app. And I think that this shows, the power of effective marketing, but then also gives you a really good insight into, the app can really not be a cost center as much as it could be a revenue driver if used correctly. So I just wanted to say, great job, Union Omaha, and we look forward to continuing to work with you this year.